Hello, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm an addiction recovery coach and the host of the Take Your Life Back Today show. As an addiction recovery coach, I'm going to share something with you, and let me be crystal clear to leave an everlasting impact. Just imagine being buried alive. You're in a coffin, but you know you're not dead. You don't know how to get out of that coffin. Try lifting your lid, but the enormous weight upon the lid prevents you from opening it. Try banging on the lid to hopefully unsettle the dirt, and maybe somebody might notice and start digging their way down towards there. This is what it's like to find yourself at the lowest point of alcohol and drug addiction. You know you need help, you know you can't do it on your own, but you don't know where to turn. In reality, there are people standing by your grave. You just think you're going to die. Usually, though, people don't think about death when they're habitually abusing drugs and alcohol. In order to feed an addiction, you have to be great at repressing the fear of death. I often ask you, my audience, did it ever cross your mind while you were abusing drugs and alcohol that you might just overdose and take something away that God had given you? And that's called life. With this, let me just leave one last thought. Don't be like the person that I'm speaking about that waited and waited and waited until it was too late. Instead, pick up the phone and call me at 844-405-HELP, and I promise you, I will help you take your life back, for your life is gone. Today, after this segment and a brief commercial, we are going to have a special phone guest, a usual guest. Gloria Jean Roberts will follow this segment and the commercial. Title today of our beautiful show is How to Cope with Holiday Loneliness. These are 6 tips on how to cope. Let me just turn this down a little. Christmas carols on the radio, department stores, Santas, holiday window display ads for the latest gift ideas. These are amongst the many festive signs of holiday season, which is coming upon us. While many of us welcome the paid pageantry, others feel powerful loneliness that undercuts any possible feelings of comfort and joy. According to a survey conducted by research from Greenberg, Quinlan, Rosner for the American Psychological Association, 1 of 4 Americans report experience loneliness during the holiday seasons. Perhaps you are among them. If you are, you might dread the feeling and wonder, how can you avoid that feeling? Well, reasons for holiday loneliness. Why? During the holiday loneliness, such as Christmas, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, and New Year's, do some of us feel extra lonely? After all, these are the times of social gatherings, shared rituals, and reminiscings. And if a person is lonely at other times, why do holidays seem to make the feeling even worse? Loneliness is, or seems, more intense during the holidays because of all the media coverage that describes holidays as a time of gatherings for friends and for families, explains me, Ralph. I put that in my teleprompter, Ralf Friedrichs, but explains Ralf Friedrichs, life coach in private practice here in New York. That is, Norman Rockwell-like characterizations of holidays seem to be unreal to people whose families don't fit the traditional nuclear familial mold due to circumstances within and beyond their control. I continued. Deaths, divorce, misunderstandings, financial problems, geographical separations. These are other factors can affect a person's sense of isolation during the holidays. Let's do this here a little. Holidays also have a way of bringing up the past, causing us to compare current holidays to previous holidays, comparing loneliness from the past to loneliness to today. The journey from abandonment to healing and taming for your outer child can be overwhelming. The sights, the smells, the sounds, the holidays, heartbreaking back to the childhood memories of how it used to be, how you enjoyed the holidays, to today, how you dread them. But what if your memories of those times are sad or even traumatic? In that case, you might still feel lonely if your emotional wounds haven't been addressed or even haven't healed. Loneliness and depression is a feeling that on holidays that can be very depressing. The pain of loneliness mimics severe depression, explained. I wrote Friedrichs, but I explained. Loneliness can include sadness, self-loathing, and the lack of motivation that typify severe depression. But loneliness is temporary and circumstantial in that it can instantly lift when a companion becomes available. In other words, just because you're feeling sad and temporarily doesn't mean you are suffering from depression. When a person feels lonely, it's based on actually of being alone, feeling different than those around him or her. This, for an example, may be the person alone in a new city for a new job. There is reality to the loneliness. If the person is feeling down and lonely, yet they have easy access to family, friends, this sounds more like depression than loneliness. Crucial to coping with holiday loneliness is being aware of any unrealistic expectations you may have about what to do and how to feel. Sometimes a moderate amount of good times may be seen as not enough compared to expectations, I explain in my article. And I offered a similar view. The media hype and your own conception of holidays rise your expectations for joy and togetherness, setting up for your heightened sorrow about being alone. You should on yourself for not having the life you expected to have. I and another person that helped me write this article point out that holiday loneliness can trigger feelings of abandonment, unworthiness, and self-doubt, and raises the question, what's wrong with me? Taking charge of your feelings rather than dread the isolation and loneliness you feel during the holidays. There are things you can do to minimize those feelings and experience greater emotional balance and personal fulfillment. I offer these suggestions. First of all, what you need to do is you need to recognize your loneliness instead of denying that loneliness. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. If you feel you can't share with family and friends what you're going through, consider talking to a therapist. You might also anticipate your loneliness and plan for it, a backup plan, an action plan. Reconnect with the people with whom you have lost touch from the past. Create your own social event and invite people to it. Celebrate holidays in a different way. If being at home or attending a family event is a source of discomfort for you, take a trip. If giving gifts or making holiday preparations stresses you out or depresses you, pare down those tasks or share them with others to help you. Take care of yourself. Do what you can to reduce your stress and connect with things and activities that you enjoy. Get plenty of rest, eat delicious foods, and eat healthy foods. Go to a movie, even a museum. Get a massage, take a bubble bath. Do whatever feels safe and brings you comfort to lift your spirits. Limit your alcohol intake. Let me repeat that. Limit your alcohol intake. Alcohol is a depressant, not a stimulant, and as such, it can magnify your feelings of sadness. Here's a big one. Reach out and help someone, such as I'm helping you. Volunteering is a powerful antidote to loneliness because it boosts one's feelings of self-worth and usefulness. Embracing the holiday spirit by giving of your time and efforts to those less fortunate might increase your connection to others and give you a greater perspective of inner peace. Don't feel alone this holiday season. Listen to a personal story that will follow this next commercial. This story comes from Gloria Roberts, I should say. It's a personal story. And if we have time, we'll go over some things that you can do to help you feel less lonely during these holiday seasons. I hope to God you stay tuned for Gloria Jean Roberts, who follows this commercial.